Shalom, Shalom, Yasharala. It's your brother Mashayak coming at y'all with an edifying video through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rakakodash. So I want to go into this article. It says American Airlines could run out of fuel within weeks as travel chaos spirals before summer. It says airlines are heading into summer with a brutal fuel shock that is already forcing fare hikes, route cuts, and fresh fears of travel chaos. It says a fast moving supply squeeze has sent jet fuel prices soaring and rattled carriers on both sides of the Atlantic. In the US, big airlines are already scrambling as costs surge, and executives warn the hit could last well beyond the busy travel season. It says the Argus US Jet Fuel Index, an industry benchmark tracking wholesale jet fuel prices, climbed to $4.57 a gallon on March 27th. It says, meantime, the spot price for jet fuel in the U.S., the going market rate for immediate purchases hit 4.24 dollars a gallon last week, up from about $2.50 before the first strikes on Iran. Fox News reported. It says the crunch is being driven by the war in Iran and the disruption running through the Strait of Hormuz. It says Reuters reported the strait normally carries about 20% of global crude oil, refined products, and LNG, but it is still effectively closed to most shipping. It says that matters hugely for airlines because labor is their biggest expense, with fuel close behind at about 20% to 25% of operating costs. And the pre that I got is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 17. This is a pretty classic one. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And I went on ChatGPT and I typed in what would be the damage American Airlines I typed in what would be the damage if American Airlines closed due to lack of fuel. And it says if American Airlines were to shut down abruptly due to a lack of fuel, the ripple effects would be massive and multifaceted: economic, social, and logistical. It says, let's break it down. Number one, it says economic impact. It says direct losses. American Airlines is one of the largest U.S. carriers. Its shutdown would immediately put hundreds of thousands of employees at risk of unemployment. Pilots, flight attendants, ground crew, maintenance, and administrative staff. Estimates could easily surpass 100,000 jobs directly. So don't be surprised if you ever order some food from Uber Eats or DoorDash and you got a pilot delivering your food for you. That's how bad it's going to get out here. It's going to get bad. It says financial markets. It says investors holding American Airlines stock or airline related ETFs would see sharp declines, potentially shaking broader market confidence. Suppliers and partners, fuel companies, catering services, aircraft manufacturers, Boeing, Airbus, and maintenance contractors would take heavy hits. Regional economies. It says many U.S. cities rely on airline hubs: Dallas, Fort Worth, Miami, Chicago. Airport revenue, tourism, and business travel would sharply decline. 2. Travel and logistics disruption. It says Passenger strain, millions of travelers would be stranded or have to find alternatives. American Airlines flies roughly 200 million passengers annually. So short-term chaos at airports would be immense. Cargo and supply chains. It says airlines carry critical cargo, medical supplies, e-commerce goods, perishables. Sudden closure would disrupt shipments nationwide and internationally. Competitor pressure. It says other airlines would face overwhelming demand, likely raising ticket prices sharply due to limited capacity. Three, fuel and energy sector. It says, ironically, a lack of fuel causing a shutdown could signal wider energy shortages or extreme fuel price spikes. The airline industry accounts for a significant portion of jet fuel consumption. Its sudden drop could temporarily depress demand but also create market instability. Four, global impact. American Airlines has extensive international routes. Its disappearance would strain global air travel networks, affecting connections in Europe, Latin America, Asia, and beyond. Code shares and alliances. It says partners like British Airways, Finnair, and others in the One World Alliance would lose coordinated routes, reducing global connectivity. And five, government intervention. It says likely the federal government will face political pressure to intervene either via emergency fuel relief, loans, or restructuring. It says the DOT and FAA would also have to manage air traffic chaos and safety concerns. So it says, in short, the closure would just inconvenience travelers. It would disrupt jobs, trade, tourism, global logistics, and energy markets. Economists might compare it to a mini financial crisis within the transportation sector. And that's it for that. So with that, Yasharala, I pray y'all brothers and sisters were edified with this quick lesson. I want to give all praises once again to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakak Wadash. I pray all brothers and sisters were edified. Shalom.